For some time now, there's been questions on who actually controls the Nile, and about 3 countries are constantly being called up in these discussions. But today we're going to be checking out Africa's $5 billion Megadam that will block the Nile. It's going to be an interesting one, so let's get to it.
This dam is absolutely huge. The reservoir behind it will be roughly the same size as London.
Wow.
While the dam itself will be twice as tall as the Golden Gate Bridge. Welcome to the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, an epic name for an epic feat of engineering. It's decades in the making and forms part of the country's so-called economic miracle, largely because it has the potential to lift millions of people out of poverty. But it could also be the dangerous spark that ignites a whole new conflict in the region.
Egypt, Sudan and Ethiopia are at odds over who controls the world's longest river.
A fight for the Nile.
The river Nile.
This is the largest dam in Africa, so large it has its own classification. It's a megadam.
Mega what?
Once complete, it'll produce over 5,000 megawatts of electricity, more than double Ethiopia's current output today, and its reservoir will hold 74 billion cubic meters of water. The numbers here don't get any less overwhelming. The dam itself is made of 10 million cubic meters of roller-compacted concrete and is set to include 2 power stations, 3 spillways, and a saddle dam. The main dam itself will be 145 meters deep by 1.7 kilometers long, while the saddle dam supporting the main structure will be an astonishing 4.8 kilometers long by 45 meters high. There'll be 2 outdoor power stations on either bank of the river, with the capacity to generate roughly 2,000 to 3,700 megawatts of power. The first step on the journey to build something as enormous as this kind of sets the tone for the rest of the project, the casual diversion of the Blue Nile River in 2013. Now, as dramatic as that sounds, it's actually pretty common when building dams. Here's how it works. Most dams are built over rivers, but to pour concrete you need a dry working area. So diversion channels or tunnels are formed around the side of a dam's location for the period of its construction. If you're going through hard rock, then explosives are normally used to clear a path, while soft soils and rocks are excavated. Once there's a dry space for workers, foundations are laid. They have to be strong enough to withstand the weight of the dam and the enormous water pressures acting on them. As we said, the Renaissance Dam will be 145 meters deep, almost the height of a skyscraper, and that 74 billion cubic meters of water behind it will create a lot of pressure. Those foundations absolutely cannot leak, so the soil and rocks in the ground below the dam have to be strength tested and are sometimes removed and replaced with stronger materials. Once a dam is complete and in place, the diversion channels around it are blocked and water typically builds into a reservoir behind the dam structure. That's exactly what happened at the Hoover Dam on the Arizona-Nevada border. Water is let through openings in the dam as necessary and often harnessed for hydroelectric power. The immense scale of the Renaissance Dam has likely required special on-site concrete patching plants to be established close to the worksite. They help to increase efficiency and can ensure more control over the delivery of materials, something that's essential once you've started a big concrete pour. But a lot of the construction details for the Renaissance Dam have been kept under wraps, and that's all due to the somewhat fragile political nature of this project. You see, the dam is being built here on the Blue Nile, just 30 kilometers upstream from the Sudan border, and it's caused fierce debate over exactly who owns the Nile and the water flowing in it.
Egypt's President Sisi says the Nile is a question of life, a matter of existence to Egypt.
It's worried that its share of the water will be reduced when Ethiopia starts to fill the massive dam.
There is no Egypt without water. We either have water or there is no future for us.
Further downriver is Egypt, and Egypt is, Well, Egypt's pretty much entirely built around the Nile. An astounding 85% of the country's water comes from just this one source.
Oh, then it's really valuable to them.
And some 95% of the country's population live within a few kilometers of this famous river. Canals from the Nile irrigate farms and support cities, agriculture and fishing. The Nile has breathed life into this desert region for thousands of years. And if something were to happen to jeopardize that water source, well, the consequences could be disastrous. And Egypt knows this. Now, to design any kind of dam, let alone a megadam with a reservoir the size of London, you need a pretty solid grasp on engineering and maths. While the way you learn to solve equations at school may have been a bit daunting, today's video sponsor Brilliant.org teaches subjects like maths, science and engineering in a hands-on and visual way. Each course is broken down into short, bite-sized classes, which makes it easy to make regular progress. And there are daily rewards to help keep you on a learning streak. A solid understanding of geometry is key to anybody working or aspiring to work in construction. With Brilliant, you can quickly learn the fundamentals like finding the area, to be at the centre of it. Egypt was even reportedly prepared to bomb it to protect their stake in the Nile. So why would Ethiopia risk a potential war, all for a shiny new dam? Well, its government is hoping this megaproject will actually help lift the entire country out of poverty. Half of all Ethiopians today don't have access to electricity. The dam is going to change that.
But it's going to do that at the expense of Egyptians, right?
The country is already on the fast track to achieving its economic goals. Ethiopia has become Africa's fastest growing economy, in part boosted by massive investment in infrastructure. During this period of transformational growth, Ethiopia has managed to reduce the number of people living in extreme poverty dramatically, from over 50% of the population to 31%. It's been called the Ethiopian economic miracle, and it's becoming a model for other African countries. Major infrastructure projects play such an important role in this process. For its part, Ethiopia has argued that the effects of the dam are going to be minimal on the countries that are downstream, while the benefits will be plentiful and can be shared. But the debate over who can lay claim to the waters continues. Today, talks between the countries have almost completely broken down.
So do you think the effect is really going to damage Egyptians' water, or the water flow in Egypt? Do you think so? Because if it won't, or if it's going to be beneficial, I'll put it that way, if it's going to be beneficial to Egypt, then maybe they can even collaborate. Egypt would have like 50% of the dam, Ethiopia has 50%, because that is going to give them a conversation now where it's like, you can't do anything without me being a part of the decision, right? So yeah, they can do that. I mean, if it won't affect the water flow to Egypt, I think Sudan also might be affected. They can all come together and make this work. You know, something like that.
With no agreement met, despite the dam now being 90% complete and scheduled to be filled within 3 years. Whatever the outcome, this is a piece of infrastructure that's likely to reshape more than just rivers in the region.
What if Egypt bombs it when it's complete? That'll be sad after $5 billion.
This video was made possible by Brilliant. You can learn more about that at the link below.
Well, yeah, that was good information. Yeah, I saw that one and I thought, wow, I should read this, because I've known about this. I've known a little bit about the topic for some time now, just to get some more clarity and some insights. I decided to bring it, or to check it out, and also bring it to you, so you get to see. For some people it might be new information, for some people you probably already knew it, but it never hurts to learn some more. I'm sure you learned something from that one. It's the end of this video. Smash the like button and subscribe if you're new to the channel, and I'll see you on the next video. Have a wonderful day. Peace. I made this bed on my